This review is brought to you by the King of Fist Army, where we treat each soldier with the utmost care. Yeah! Hello people, I'm the Anime Hero, and I review anime so you can enjoy it. Legends of the Dark King is a spin-off to Fist of the North Star, but you don't need to watch the original series to start this anime. I personally feel Legends of the Dark King and the 1986 movie are the best way to get into the North Star series. But to those who don't know anything about the story, here's a quick summary by the underrated king himself, Mr. Falcon Punch 996.
Hello everyone, it is your favorite kind of punch, Mr. Falcon Punch 996, the underrated king, the recommendation master, and of course YouTube's #1 Dorohedoro fanboy. And I'm here to introduce you guys to the story of Fist of the North Star. Yeah!
Fist of the North Star takes place in the year 1990X, where World War III eventually consumes the entire planet in a nuclear apocalypse, in which Kenshiro, the main character as well as manly badass extraordinaire, knows one of the most badass and most broken martial arts in the history of anything, known as the Divine Fist of the North Star. This deadly assassination style of martial arts comes with many techniques, with the most notable being that it can make people's heads explode by pressing pressure points. With this, Kenshiro is destined to save the world from other martial artists and thugs who abuse their power in the most manly and badass fashion. Kenshiro eventually faces his older brother as well as super manly badass extraordinaire, Raoh, who is titled Canon, or the King of Fist, and is deemed one of the most iconic and manly villains of the series. I mean, look at his frickin' horse.
Fatality.
Legends of the Dark King serves as a prequel starring Kenshiro's older brother Raoh, who also knows the Fist of the North Star. So in contrast to the original series, Legends of the Dark King follows the villain as the main character. The spin-off takes place about a year earlier from Kenshiro's story, where Raoh attempts to conquer these troubled times with his fist, thus killing anyone that stands against his righteous cause. Raoh's ideology is controlling the world through fear and power, thereby establishing peace. However, many characters disagree with his methods, as he is forcing people to submit to his will. This is especially so when Raoh's ambition of becoming the supreme ruler of the century's end is straying him away from the heroic path. While Fist of the North Star was originally a post-apocalyptic martial arts shonen, Legends of the Dark King ended up becoming a post-apocalyptic dark fantasy seinen. I assume it became labeled as a seinen due to the change in censorships with violence and some of the mature content. For example, in the original North Star manga, there was a fabulous villain named Yuda who would kidnap women to be his slaves. In one scene, Yuda punishes a woman via gang rape, which the manga is clearly suggesting. FYI, this was in Shonen Jump. The anime, however, changed the punishment to getting banished to the desert. In Legends of the Dark King, the scene remains similar to the manga, enforcing a more seinen tone. While Fist of the North Star is an 80s shonen, it still contained much heavier themes that could be easily mistaken for a seinen comic. Much like the 80s anime, the world in Dark King is portrayed as hell on earth, where anyone can get killed for food and water. Children can be sold as slaves and women are bought as sexual items. But I admit, Dark King does feel a bit tame, as his violence is not that gory nor bloody, especially when compared to the 1986 Fist movie. So what else makes Legends a dark fantasy? Part of what makes the spin-off a fantasy are its themes of man versus destiny. All North Star related material have an emphasis on destiny, where martial artists are born under constellations, such as the Big Dipper and the Southern Cross. In the North Star mythology, it is believed that people's roles are assigned by fate, causing some characters to either accept or go against their destiny. Most of the enemies found in Raoh's anime proclaim themselves as kings or other monarchy titles, such as the Holy Emperor. As seen in the Souther arc and the Five Chariots arc, the battles dealing with Raoh were performed by armies, so it only seemed natural to make the spin-off a lot more fantasy-oriented. This is heavily expressed in the English dub, as Sentai Filmworks maintained the fantasy mood.
You're fools! The King of Fist's army does not need soldiers who would beg for their lives. The King of Fist holds the power of the heavens. Survivors can tell of the terror of the King of Fist's army!
I suppose what makes Raoh's spin-off more of a seinen title is the story's message. In the beginning, you grow to respect Raoh through his unwavering will to save people from this apocalyptic world. As you progress through the episodes, Raoh descends into a cold-hearted man, obsessed with power and dominance. His influence over the planet starts to blind him from his own cruelty. Claiming his solemn duty precedes his sins. In the midst of battling chaos for a righteous cause, Raoh loses sight of his initial goal. This is interpretation of Raoh's character in the spin-off, which is explored towards the later part of the original Fist series. Since the spin-off is not written by the original creators, you can see some differences in Raoh's. In North Star, aside from Raoh being portrayed as much older, his initial goal was to seize the heavens and become the strongest martial artist. It wasn't until the Ryuga arc and Five Chariots arc where Raoh gets rewritten to have more depth in his role, such as taking villainous actions towards the populace to ensure their safety. The creator of Legends of the Dark King chose to follow this interpretation and create a possible origin for Raoh's pursuit of conquest. This characterization of Raoh is further explored in the Raoh Gaiden movies titled Junai no Sho and Gegito no Sho, where he once again looks different. Speaking of differences, the spin-off includes a couple of characters which aren't canon, so they don't make appearances in the original anime. Multiple canon characters make cameos in the series, with only Ryuga, Toki, Yuda, and Sauder playing bigger roles in the story. According to the North Star Wiki, Mamiya was supposed to be featured in the Legends anime, but for some unknown reason was pulled out of it. Fucking sucks. As for my final thoughts, I believe Legends of the Dark King is one of the best debuts to begin the North Star series, as it highlights the prime antagonist Raoh and dives into his questionable morality towards cleansing the world of evil. This 13-episode series also serves as build-up for his eventual confrontation with the hero Kenshiro. If you enjoy Legends of the Dark King, I would also recommend the 1986 Fist of the North Star movie, as it features the most uncensored, gory version of the series, making it the most violent Shonen Jump movie. Another recommendation would be Toriko, as it displays many North Star references and the character Zebra is clearly inspired by Raoh. And to end this review, check out the short AMV and to see why Raoh is a freaking beast! I'm the Anime Hero, and I review anime so you can enjoy it.